Hey guys, it's Conf College Studios here. We are back here at Great Adventure on a Saturday, which I don't always do, but it's interesting because the park is actually kind of crowded today, which has been a rarity this year. But they are crowded, so we're gonna see how the park is handling the crowds, because obviously compared to last year, there's a lot less to do. So I'm curious what lines look like. Obviously the parking lot is fairly stuffed, prefers all the way back here, so that's how you know it's pretty crowded. So see you guys inside the park. On today's visit, in addition to looking at the crowds, another thing we're going to be paying attention to, well, it's actually two things, is preparation for events, one of which being DC Heroes and Villains Fest, which starts in 6 days from when I'm recording this video, so that's going to be really cool. And then right after that, of course, is Fright Fest. We're going to be trying to get a view of the mazes and see if there's any work going on inside. From what I understand, there is some preparation work undergoing. You can actually see a ton of boxes over there. So somehow I brought absolutely nothing with me into the park other than my phone and my wallet, and I had to go through secondary. Just a wonderful way to start my day. But anyways, we finally have ads for the MVP sale, the new passes. It's an interesting look they're going for. First things first, we're gonna go over here into Metropolis/Movietown to check out how much has been done in terms of prep for DC Heroes and Villains Fest. And you can already see there's been quite a lot since my last visit. So here's a closer look at what we have going on. On my last visit, we saw the 3 lighting, I guess, structures go up, right? And they now have all this lighting attached to them. There's string lights going across as well. And the big thing, obviously, is the gigantic Batman statue. This is gonna be the main stage from what it looks like for the event. If I had to guess, they're gonna have meet and greets and things of that nature right here. That is a really, really nice statue. Really sizable area as well. Looks like they have a prop right there as well. It says Blackgate Penitentiary. And I'm sure there's gonna be even more stuff going up. You can see one of these crates here, labeled DC Heroes and Villains Fest. Really, really like what they're doing here. And there's some platform as well over there, presumably for another meet and greet. There's even more stuff going on over here. We have what looks like is gonna become another meet and greet spot. We have this photo spot with the Joker and all these cards. That's really cool. Yeah, I'm liking what they're doing with this. And then over here at Metro Grill, I'm not sure what this is. It looks like some kind of an extension of a cooking location. I don't know if it's like a outdoor kitchen. This looks like it could be, actually no, it's a bar. That's what it is. You see the taps right there and fridges and everything. This is presumably gonna house some exclusive menu items for DC Heroes and Villains Fest, because from what I understand, they had that at Magic Mountain as well with some exclusive items. So we'll keep an eye on this for when the menu boards go up, which probably I won't be back here until the event starts. So we won't know until that happens. And then over here next to what was the VIP lounge, here is another look again at the advertisement for the MVP sale. Also over here, I'm noticing there's a lot of lettering right there as well that's presumably going to be put up. And they updated the banners over there next to Showcase to reflect the fact that DC Heroes and Villains Fest is going to be happening very soon. So we ate at Mama Flora's as usual. Now we're going to make our way through the park and see if anything new has happened. We'll make our way back over towards Skull Mountain later. I haven't really ridden a lot here in a long time. I just haven't really been wanting to ride things as much here. Just kind of no real reason to it. But we're going to walk this way and see if anything has changed. It does look like up there at the Studio 28 arcade, they have not updated that ad for the season passes quite yet. Another ad right there for the MVP sale at the Great Adventure Guide as we make our way towards Nitro and Devil. And just walking around, you can probably see compared to most of my other vlogs, there's a lot more people walking around in these midways than usual. Look at that line for Nitro. That's a solid weight. As we're down here by Nitro, I know it's been up for a little while now, but for those of you who haven't seen it, Roaring Rapids operates from 12 to 8 daily. I assume 8 on the days that it's open till 8. If it's open till 7, it would probably close at park closing, but it does open a little later in the day. Pretty long line for Skull here as well. It goes well past, oh my God, it's almost a full queue. Yeah, this park is very crowded. I do have Flash Pass skips, but I don't even know if I want to use them just because it's a little bit of a hassle. Although next year might be a little different because obviously, if you guys don't already know, Flash Pass will be discontinued after the end of the 2025 season, and all Six Flags parks will begin using Fastlane, which came from the Legacy Cedar Fair parks. And supposedly our benefits as Legacy members will still continue. So I guess we'll get 1 free Fastlane skip every visit, or well, for us it's 4. It depends on your tier of membership or pass. So I guess we'll see what happens with that. As I'm walking through the lakefront area by Joker, I'm noticing that that particular Skyway Tower had its first section repainted, and it has a new decal on it, it looks like, for the number it is. Even though they're obviously not Skyway Towers anymore, they're essentially just emergency light towers with the way they cut them. But interesting, they decided to repaint that little bit of it. So funny thing over here at the transition from Main Street to Dream Street, they have this gigantic ad for the MVP pass. This thing's a little ridiculous. So of course tells you all the different coasters, family rides. That's Lucy's Krabby Cabbies, I believe, at CGA. And I think most of these, except for, oh look, there I am too. What do you know? There I am. Actually, this is the picture what most people that we know in there. So they're using me as an ad. That's the only Six Flags photo. I'm pretty sure all of these are Cedar Fair parks. And then this giant pedestal with the pass on it. This is actually, like, it's funny because it looks ridiculous, but it's actually really cool. Also, something I'm noticing at all the refill locations, especially that one, they were staffing security there for a while, and then they kind of stopped. And now that they've stopped, everyone just goes right through the exit and fills their drinks without scanning. A lot of times they'll use their own cups. So if anyone from the park is watching, maybe keeping security staffed at those is probably a good idea, because the one person who's scanning all the drinks, they can't really see that, quite frankly, the way it's set up. So security would definitely be good to take care of that. All right, we've made our way down to Superman Island, and it's interesting because even on a day like this where it's kind of crowded, Garden State Grill and the Totally Kickin' Chicken Sports Bar, which was just redone last year, are both closed. They do have Boardwalk Steak and Fries open behind me, but otherwise they keep most of the stuff closed down here. So we've now made it over here to the site of the new coaster. I'm not gonna be too focused on looking at stuff for it, because honestly I don't think much has changed. But here's your look straight through the fence here. Not really too much looks to have changed. There's probably a few more footers now with the rebar. Obviously no concrete has been poured quite yet, but you can definitely see the start, that's for sure. You can see how this is all gonna be kind of laid out up here with the presumed station and everything. Got plenty of dirt around, but yeah, there's definitely a lot of rebar, lots of holes in general. I mean, if I zoom in a little more, you can see just tons and tons of holes, not all of which have rebar yet. Also, you know it's fairly busy when they have go-karts actually open, as well as Slingshot. Usually, like I said in previous vlogs, those are gonna be the first rides to get cut for the day, but they're both open. Another view further to the left, you can see there's definitely less of those wooden forms over there now. They're still there. Plenty of rebar still, lots of which has yet to be installed. So I'm still really curious how much further they're gonna go until construction maybe slows down a little. Obviously they have said that they're planning to delay this, so we'll see just how far that goes, but they're still trucking along. This is my first time seeing the watering hole open. I guess because they figured it's crowded enough where they need it. So it looks like there are 2 fountains on either side. And once again, it's kind of a similar issue to Dream Street where they don't have a security guard or anything guarding this. And this one is set up so that's probably very easy for people to just walk up and not scan. So I'm curious if they're gonna put any measures in to stop that from happening. All right, so we've made it to Frontier Adventures, and currently there are actually no available rides in this area. The safari is closed. I thought that the trial period they were doing with the safari in the park was gonna last longer, but I guess not, it is closed. However, Best of the West does have an open sign, so let's go see if that is in fact the case. Yeah, Best of the West does actually look open, and it looks fairly lively too. I've only been able to come in here a couple of times. It looks like the menu's a little different actually. So now everything up there is on the meal plan, and they don't have a brisket sandwich. They now have a brisket burger. So it's a burger topped with brisket, which is on the meal plan. And then over here, there's a salad and all the sides, and of course your drinks. So they have made some tweaks to the menu here. Now this is the best thing about Best of the West being back open. My dad would argue it's because of the turtles. I say it's because of just this view in general. Although the view's a little better when the live flume is running.
This is an absolute gem of the park.
Yeah, they better never get rid of this. As we're over here by Best of the West, I'm noticing a lot of safari employees coming over here. So my guess is maybe that it got too crowded over at the base camp, so they decided to close this station because maybe there weren't enough people visiting it. And then they sent all the trucks over to base camp to try to chew through that line, which could be why this is closed. Because as far as I know, it was supposed to be open, but it looks like it was kind of closed a little suddenly maybe. Now we're gonna walk towards Toro. I'm not sure if I'm gonna ride it, but I am gonna take a look where Trick or Treat is, which is the Fright Fest maze from last year, as well as the one that was next to Golden Kingdom, that being Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Because I know it's in a kind of an awkward spot given the park boundaries right now, but since they spent so much money to build it last year, I'd imagine they're probably gonna try to use it again. Over here on Plaza de Carnaval, you can see over the fence that the lights are on inside of Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So maybe they're working. That's probably the easiest one for them to work on because nobody can be over there to see what they're doing. So no real big worries there. Over here, trick or treat though, I'm not seeing anything. It's kind of hard to tell if anything's happened. I mean, the facade is still here, it's the same. I'm curious if this is gonna stay as trick or treat. I mean, you can see the sign is still there too from trick or treat, the infrared information sign. If I look through the fence there it is. Looks like it has not been updated to be the way Cedar Fair has them either. But we're gonna have to wait and see. I'm hoping Fright Fest can be pretty cool this year, especially because there will not be Oktoberfest. But yeah, they are working. They've got some pumpkins, they've got a truck, and plenty of lights on over there. So we actually wound up riding Toro once. I know I said I wasn't gonna ride anything, but the opportunity arose, so I figured I'd give it a ride, and it was running good. Got a back row ride, running fast. I will say, it's interesting to see the park on a crowded day, right? Because a big thing today was to see how they would handle a crowded day, because they've been so used to days where crowds are very minimal that when there is a day where there's a lot of crowds, I wouldn't say aren't prepared, but they're kind of, I guess, caught off guard. And, you know, the lines obviously build up. Operations maybe slow down a little because they might be overwhelmed by how many people are here. So I'm hoping that we get more crowded days, as crazy as that sounds, just so that the crews can be used to it. Because once we get to Fright Fest, everyone's going to need to be running at full 100%, you know, efficiency and getting those lines moving, which hopefully can happen sooner than later. So there's a really weird visual on this TV screen here. Devil's listing a 30-minute wait, but it's grayed out as if it's closed. So I'm not sure if that means it has a 30-minute wait, but it's closed, or it just should be green and it's not. So I've been getting some criticism for not showing off the merch enough. So here you go. They actually moved stuff up here at Six Flags Universe. So they have a flash sale going on for 50% off grad night apparel, which is kind of funny because if you have a Diamond Elite membership, you get 50% anyway, and you can't double this up. So no, you can't get a shirt for free. But a lot of this is just like the generic Six Flags stuff. Then they have a Chun-Li shirt for some reason. There's still Stranger Things merch from last year they're trying to get through. And then a lot of it is just kind of generic, you know, the Six Flags stuff you see at all the parks. Plus, of course, all the DC stuff on that side. Main Street Market, we have these Freedom to Scream shirts. Looks like they're from 4th of July. And then just more generic Great Adventure stuff, and then a lot of Looney Tunes stuff as well. Before we head out, we are gonna go for a quick ride on Flash. It was closed for a while, but it looks like it's reopened. So I'm looking at the Flash Pass line, which is where we're gonna go up, and it looks like it's backed up almost to the Cyborg queue. Recently, they actually allowed Flash Pass users on the middle tier to use it for Flash. So Flash Pass lines are probably gonna be a lot longer for this now than they used to be. The line for this, in terms of standby, is probably around 2 hours. It filled up quick once it reopened. Yeah, this is where Flash Pass's line ends right now. I've never seen it this long. Now all these people also need to be in front of us and then get on the train. So that's a long wait. Obviously we did not ride Flash with that wait, so we're gonna head out of the park now. Again, only rode one ride, that being Toro, but that's fine with me. I don't really need to ride too much on these visits, but it was nice to come and, you know, see what's changed. Really nice to see the park crowded. That was a nice change of pace. Sure, it made it more difficult to do things, but it was definitely something we need to see the park have, that being crowds and attendance, because we will not see the park grow if we don't have this. So hopefully they did well today. It looks like, obviously they still need to get kind of used to handling crowds again because they haven't had that in a while, but I think in time they'll definitely get used to it again. But with all that being said, that's gonna do it for today's video from Great Adventure. If you guys enjoyed, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next video. Goodbye, guys.